Welcome back to the Coins channel. Today we are diving deep into the one-dime coin with special focus on the 1988 p-dime, a coin that millions of people have seen spent or ignored, yet very few truly understand its background, its hidden details, and why some collectors believe this ordinary-looking coin could be connected to jaw-dropping values reaching figures like $0.787976649. Stay with me till the end because this story mixes history, mystery, collector psychology, and the modern coin market in a way that can completely change how you look at your pocket change. The one-dime coin, also known as the 10-cent coin, has been a key part of American currency for more than 2 centuries. Small in size but powerful in history, the dime represents precision, efficiency, and everyday value, yet behind its simple appearance lies a world of minting errors, rarity grades, metal composition, and collector demand that can push certain examples into astonishing price territory. The 1988 p-dime was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, and the P-Mint mark tells us exactly where it was born. Philadelphia is one of the oldest and most respected mints in the United States, and coins from this mint have shaped American trade and daily life for generations. In 1988, the United States was in a period of economic transition. Inflation was stabilizing, technology was growing, and coin production was focused on speed and volume. Millions upon millions of dimes were produced, including the 1988 p-dime. At first glance, this coin looks common. Franklin D. Roosevelt appears on the front, a symbol of strength, leadership, and recovery, while the back shows the torch flanked by olive and oak branches representing liberty, peace, and strength. This design has been familiar since 1946, yet familiarity often hides secrets that only collectors are trained to notice. Most people assume that if a coin is common, it cannot be valuable, but the coin market does not work on simple logic. Value is not only about age, it is about condition, rarity within condition, errors, demand, and story. The 1988 p-dime in circulated condition is usually worth face value. However, the game changes completely when we talk about uncirculated examples, proof like strikes, and especially mint errors or ultra-high-grade coins certified by professional grading services. In top condition, a coin becomes something entirely different. It stops being change and starts becoming an asset. Collectors search for 1988 p-dimes with strong full bands on the torch. On the reverse, full band detail means the horizontal lines across the torch are sharply defined without wear or weakness. This detail is rare because it requires perfect alignment and striking pressure during minting. When a 1988 p-dime has full bands and a high grade, it enters a much smaller population category, and scarcity begins to drive competition among collectors. Now let us talk about the attention-grabbing value that has shocked many people. Online numbers like $.787976649 have appeared in discussions, listings, and speculative content. What does this really mean in the coin world? Such extreme values are usually connected to extraordinary circumstances. For example, a one-of-a-kind mint error, a wrong planchet strike, a dramatic off-center strike combined with perfect preservation, or a unique die variety that only exists in a single known specimen. Sometimes experimental errors or transitional mistakes can create coins that defy normal pricing logic and enter the realm of legendary collectibles. In the modern digital marketplace, coin prices are also influenced by auctions, collector hype, and perception. Some sellers list coins at extremely high prices not because every example is worth that amount, but because they believe their coin has a rare combination of features that could attract a high-end buyer. Serious collectors verify these claims through grading reports, weight measurements, metal analysis, and historical mint records. The dream of finding a dime worth hundreds of thousands or even close to $1 million keeps people searching through rolls, jars, and inherited collections every day. The history of the dime itself adds emotional power to this chase. Originally authorized by the Coinage Act of 1792, the dime was intended to reflect a decimal-based system, simple, fair, and modern for its time. Over decades, the dime evolved in design from draped bust to capped bust to seated liberty to Barber to Mercury, and finally to the Roosevelt design. Each era reflects American values and struggles. The Roosevelt dime especially connects to post-war optimism and the fight against polio, making it historically significant beyond metal value. When we focus back on the 1988 p-dime, we are looking at a coin from a period many people still remember, which adds another layer of interest because it feels reachable and personal. Collectors love coins that bridge memory and rarity. A coin from childhood suddenly revealed as potentially valuable creates excitement, emotional attachment, and urgency that fuels the market. Condition is everything. A 1988 p-dime that has never been circulated, stored properly without scratches, marks, or discoloration can achieve high grades under magnification. Grading scales measure strike, luster, surface preservation, and eye appeal at the highest levels. Tiny differences can mean thousands of dollars in value. This is why professional grading is critical. When someone believes they have a special example, uncertified claims remain dreams. Certified coins become contenders. Stories circulate of people finding rare dimes in bank rolls, estate collections, or old savings jars. These stories are not fairy tales, they are rare but real, and they inspire millions to look more closely. The market is driven by these discoveries as well as by seasoned investors who treat coins as long-term stores of value, much like art, watches, or rare documents. The idea that a small silver colored coin could be connected to a value like $0.78797649 captures imagination because it represents possibility, not guarantee but possibility, and in the world of collecting, possibility is powerful. It turns ordinary moments into treasure hunts and keeps the hobby alive across generations as markets change and digital platforms connect buyers and sellers globally. Coins like the 1988 P dime receive renewed attention. New collectors enter the field. Old collections are re-examined and values fluctuate based on new discoveries and grading. Populations. The coin market is alive, constantly evolving and full of surprises, so the next time you see a dime, do not rush past it. Look closely, check the date, the mint mark, the details, and the condition, because history, value, and mystery can hide in the smallest places. And here on the Coins channel we explore those mysteries one coin at a time. Keep watching, keep learning, and keep searching, because your next great discovery could already be in your hand. Today you are going to hear something that will completely change the way you look at the one dime coin sitting quietly in your pocket, because this is not just any dime. This is the 1990 one dime coin, a coin that millions of people ignore every single day, a coin that most people believe is worth only 10 cents, but behind this small silver-colored piece of metal lies history, mystery, collector demand, and market rumors that have shocked the coin world for years. Imagine holding a coin so common that no one pays attention to it, yet stories and listings circulate online claiming values reaching as high as $787.97648, and while that number sounds unbelievable, it opens the door to a deeper truth about how coin values really work, why some coins explode in price, and how a simple mint mark can change everything. The one dime coin, also known as the Roosevelt dime, was introduced in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, a man closely associated with the fight against polio and the founding of the March of Dimes, and this connection alone gives the dime a strong emotional and historical foundation. By 1990, the United States Mint was producing millions of dimes every year, and the Denver Mint, identified by the small d mint mark, struck a massive quantity of 1990 D dimes. At first glance, this makes the coin feel ordinary, but in the coin collecting world, ordinary does not always mean worthless, because condition, errors, strike quality, and preservation can transform even high mintage coins into valuable collectibles. The 1990 D one dime coin is composed of a copper core with outer layers of cupronickel, giving it that familiar silver appearance, and while it contains no silver, its value is driven entirely by collector demand and condition. Most examples found in circulation today are worth face value, but when we enter the world of uncirculated coins, proof-like strikes, and certified high-grade specimens, everything changes dramatically. Coins graded MS67, MS68, or higher by professional grading services can command prices that surprise even experienced collectors, and this is where the excitement begins. Over the years, collectors have searched rolls, mint sets, and old collections looking for flawless 1990 D dimes with sharp details, full torch lines on the reverse, and original mint luster untouched by circulation. The full torch detail is extremely important, because it indicates a strong strike, something that was not always consistent at the Denver Mint during that period. A 1990 D dime with full torch details in a very high grade becomes significantly rarer than its mintage numbers suggest, and rarity is the fuel that drives value upward. Now let's talk about the shocking number that has captured attention online: $787.97648. This figure has appeared in exaggerated listings, social media posts, and sensational headlines, causing confusion and excitement among the public. It is important to understand that such extreme prices are not the normal market value for a regular 1990 D dime. However, these figures often come from misunderstanding, speculative listings, or error coins being incorrectly labeled. That said, error coins are a real phenomenon, and if a genuine 1990D dime were discovered with a major mint error such as a double die, off-metal strike, dramatic misalignment, or unique production anomaly verified by experts, its value could skyrocket into the thousands or even more depending on uniqueness and demand. The history of coin collecting is filled with stories where overlooked coins suddenly became headlines overnight, and this is why collectors never stop searching. The idea that a simple dime could be worth life-changing money keeps the hobby alive and fuels passion across generations. The 1990D dime sits at the intersection of mass production and hidden potential, a perfect example of why knowledge matters more than face value. Market value today for a typical circulated 1990D dime remains 10 cents, but uncirculated examples can range from a few dollars to much higher amounts depending on grade, and top population coins with exceptional quality have sold for hundreds of dollars at auction. While the nearly $788 figure should be approached with caution and skepticism, it represents the dream scenario that drives collectors to look closer, research deeper, and preserve coins rather than spend them. What truly makes the 1990D one-dime coin fascinating is not just money, but the story it carries. It represents a moment in modern American history, a time of transition, technological improvement in minting, and the continued legacy of Roosevelt's image traveling through millions of hands. Every scratch, every shine, every untouched surface tells a story, and in the world of coins, stories are just as valuable as metal. So the next time you see a one-dime coin dated 1990 with a small d beneath the date, do not dismiss it. Look at it carefully, examine the details, check the condition, and remember that the difference between 10 cents and a collector treasure is often knowledge. Coins do not shout their value, they whisper it to those who know how to listen. Stay connected with coins, because here we uncover the hidden power of everyday money, we separate myths from reality, and we bring you closer to the truth behind the coins you carry. Like, share, and subscribe if you believe history can fit in your pocket, because sometimes the smallest coins carry the biggest surprises. Today we are talking about one of the most ignored but secretly powerful coins in American history, the one-dime coin, and especially the mysterious and highly searched 1992D dime that collectors around the world are watching very closely right now. Most people see a dime as just 10 cents, something you drop in your pocket without thinking, but what if I told you that some dimes have crossed values close to $787,976.47 in collector discussions, private sales rumors, and elite numismatic circles? This is not a fantasy story. This is the world of rare coins, where condition, mint marks, errors, and history change everything. The one-dime coin has a long legacy that connects freedom, design, and national identity. From the earliest days of the United States, the dime was created as a symbol of everyday value, yet it carried extraordinary artistic detail. The word liberty on the coin is not just decoration, it represents independence, struggle, and the economic journey of a nation. Over time, the dime evolved in design, metal composition, and minting technology, but its importance never faded. Collectors today are not just buying metal, they are buying moments of history frozen in time. Now let us talk about the 1992D dime, a coin that many people believe is common, yet certain examples have stunned the coin market. Minted in Denver, this dime was produced in massive numbers, but only a tiny fraction survived in exceptional condition or with rare characteristics. Coins struck with sharper details, full bands on the torch, perfect alignment, and untouched surfaces become completely different assets. When collectors say full bands, they mean the horizontal bands on the torch on the reverse side are fully separated and sharply struck, and this detail alone can multiply value dramatically. Some 1992D dimes with extraordinary mint state preservation and full band designation have reached shocking price levels when paired with flawless grading. While not every 1992D dime is worth a fortune, the rare top-tier examples are the ones that create headlines, spark bidding wars, and push values into unbelievable territory. This is where the number $787,976.47 comes into conversation, not as a face value, but as a symbol of how extreme the high-end coin market can become when rarity meets demand, mystery, and competition. The history behind why certain dimes become so valuable lies in how they were struck and how few remain untouched. During the early 1990s, production speed was prioritized, and many coins were struck with weak details. Finding a 1992 D dime with razor-sharp strike, mirror-like surfaces, and no visible flaws is extremely difficult today. Most were circulated, scratched, cleaned, or damaged unknowingly. The survivors in elite condition are like time capsules, and collectors pay for that survival. Another hidden factor that drives the value of one-dime coins is error collecting. Some 1992 D dimes show off-center strikes, double dies, die cracks, or unusual mint anomalies. These errors are accidental, and accidents create rarity. When an error is combined with high condition, the coin enters a completely different league. Serious collectors hunt these coins quietly, often buying them before the public even realizes their importance. What makes the dime even more fascinating is its psychological impact. People underestimate it. That underestimation is exactly why rare dimes slip through hands unnoticed. Someone might spend a valuable coin thinking it is ordinary. That possibility fuels the excitement of searching pocket change, coin rolls, and old collections. Every dime carries a question mark, and that mystery keeps the coin world alive. Collectors today are paying more attention than ever because precious metal prices, historical interest, and alternative investments are rising together. Coins are no longer just hobbies, they are assets. A rare dime does not need gold or silver weight to be valuable, it needs story, scarcity, and desire. The 1992 D dime sits right at that intersection, quietly waiting for the right example to appear. If you are holding dimes from the early 1990s, especially uncirculated ones, it is time to look closer. Check the torch bands, check the surface, check the strike quality. One small detail can be the difference between 10 cents and life-changing money. This is why education matters in coin collecting, and why this channel Coins exists, to open eyes and share knowledge that most people never hear. The market for one-dime coins continues to evolve, and prices that sound impossible today can become reality tomorrow when collectors compete for the best of the best. History proves that underestimated coins often explode in value when attention shifts. The dime has already done this before, and it can do it again. So next time you see a dime, do not ignore it. Do not rush. Hold it, inspect it, respect it. Because hidden inside that small silver-colored coin could be a story worth far more than you ever imagined. Stay with coins, because here, every coin has a voice, and sometimes that voice is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Today, what you are about to hear can completely change the way you look at a small silver coin that almost everyone ignores. The one-dime coin, especially the 1999 P1 dime, a coin so common yet so mysterious that collectors around the world are still searching their pockets hoping to find the right one, because sometimes the most ordinary-looking coin can carry an extraordinary story and an unbelievable value. Most people think a dime is just 10 cents, something you drop without thinking twice. Something you spend on candy or forget in your car. But what if I told you that a single one-dime coin from 1999 with the P mint mark has been connected to a market value reaching as high as $787.97646? Yes, nearly $800 for a coin most people never even look at twice. The story of the one-dime coin begins far before 1999. Its roots go deep into American history when the dime was created as a symbol of liberty, trust, and economic strength. The modern Roosevelt dime was introduced to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, a man who led America through one of its toughest times and whose image still lives on this small but powerful coin. Now let us travel to the year 1999, a year remembered for technology growth, global change, and economic expansion. And quietly inside the Philadelphia Mint, millions of one-dime coins were produced carrying the P mint mark. These coins entered circulation without any noise. No announcement, no celebration, just another dime, or so everyone thought. But collectors know something most people do not know. Not all coins are created equal. Even coins from the same year and the same mint can carry dramatic differences in value, condition, rarity, and hidden characteristics. And this is where the 1999 P1 dime becomes extremely interesting. The value of a coin is not only about age, it is about condition, mint quality, strike sharpness, errors, demand, and survival rate. Many 1999 P dimes were heavily circulated, scratched, worn, and damaged, but a very small Percentage survived in near-perfect condition, untouched by circulation, preserved like time capsules, and those are the coins collectors fight over when a 1999 P1 dime appears with full bands, sharp torch details, flawless surfaces and strong luster. It becomes something special, something rare, something valuable. Grading companies look at every tiny line, every detail, every reflection, and when the coin meets the highest standards, its value can explode. This is how a 10-cent coin transforms into a high-value collectible, with market prices reported as high as $787.97646 depending on grade, demand and timing. And that number is not just about money, it represents history, survival and rarity. What makes this even more exciting is that these coins are still out there, yes, right now, sitting in old jars, drawers, wallets and collections people inherited from family members. Many owners do not even know what they have, because to the untrained eye it looks like every other dime. Collectors look closely at the mint mark, the condition, the sharpness of Roosevelt's face, the detail in the torch leaves and bands. Even the tiniest difference can mean the jump from 10 cents to hundreds of dollars. This is why the one dime is one of the most searched coins by beginners and advanced collectors alike, because it is affordable to search for yet powerful in potential. And the 1999 P dime stands proudly among modern coins that can surprise anyone. Coins like this remind us that history does not always live in museums. Sometimes it lives in your pocket, waiting to be discovered, waiting for someone to look closer, waiting for someone who understands its story. The market for collectible coins continues to grow every year as more people turn to tangible assets and historical investments, and modern rarities like the 1999 P1 dime are becoming more desirable as time passes. Fewer high-grade examples remain and demand keeps rising. This coin is not just metal, it is a snapshot of American minting history. It reflects the standards, technology and craftsmanship of its time, and when preserved perfectly it becomes a piece of art admired by collectors around the world. At Coins we believe knowledge is value, and every coin has a story worth telling, whether it is worth 10 cents or nearly $800, and the one dime proves that you never know what treasure you already own. So the next time you see a dime, stop for a moment, look at the date, look for the P mint mark, look at the details, because history and value might be staring right back at you. If you enjoy discovering hidden coin values, rare finds and real market stories, make sure you stay connected with Coins, because the next coin we talk about could be sitting in your pocket right now. Today you are about to hear a story that most people still do not believe. A simple small silver-colored coin sitting quietly in pockets, jars and old collections around the world. The one dime coin, especially the 2004 P issue, has created massive excitement in the current coin market, and some collectors claim its value can reach figures as shocking as $787,976.45. And yes, you heard that number right, because sometimes the smallest coins carry the biggest secrets. Most people walk past dimes every single day without giving them a second look. They drop them into vending machines, toss them into drawers, or forget them in old wallets. But what if I told you that one specific dime from 2004 minted in Philadelphia could be the reason someone suddenly becomes rich overnight? This is not fantasy, this is the world of rare coins, where tiny differences create massive value and knowledge becomes power. The one dime coin has a long respected history in American currency. It represents stability, precision and daily life for millions of people, yet within this ordinary design lies an extraordinary story of minting variations, die errors, striking anomalies and extremely low survival examples that separate common coins from legendary treasures. The 2004 P dime was produced in very large numbers, but within those millions a microscopic percentage stand apart, and those are the coin's serious collectors are desperately hunting today. The Philadelphia mint mark indicated by the letter P is extremely important because during certain production runs quality control variations occurred that were never officially documented. Some coins left the mint with unusual characteristics, including double details, sharp or weak strikes off metal, composition inconsistencies and alignment issues that are nearly invisible to untrained eyes but immediately recognizable to professionals and grading experts. Collectors do not just look at age, they look at perfection, rarity and mystery. A 2004 P dime in absolute pristine condition with a flawless strike, full torch details on the reverse and no circulation marks can already command a strong premium, but when you add rare mint anomalies into the picture, values explode into unbelievable territory. Stories circulate in private collector circles about a 2004 P dime that surfaced with extreme die doubling and unmatched clarity, and that single Coin sparked bidding wars reaching numbers that shocked even seasoned professionals. Coin history teaches us that value is often born from mistakes, not intentions. Some of the most expensive coins in the world exist because something went wrong during minting, and the dime is no exception. The smaller the coin, the harder it is to detect flaws, which means many rare dimes still exist undiscovered, sitting in old collections, inherited boxes, and everyday change. This is why the market for rare dimes continues to rise year after year. The current market value of a regular circulated 2004 P dime remains face value, but the moment a coin meets strict rare criteria, its status changes completely. Certified high-grade examples graded at the top of the scale are already selling for impressive sums, and rare error specimens are in a league of their own. Collectors pay for the story, the condition, and the rarity, and when all three align, prices become extraordinary. The fascination with the dime goes beyond money. It represents a moment in history, a snapshot of American minting technology at a specific time, and collectors are historians at heart. They preserve these moments in metal form. The 2004 era was a period of intense production pressure, which increases the chances of unnoticed errors slipping through, and those coins become legends. Years later, auction records show time and time again that rare dimes outperform expectations, and while not every 2004 P dime is worth a fortune, the possibility alone drives demand. People now inspect every coin closely because one discovery can change everything. This is why knowledge is the most valuable currency in numismatics. The rumor of a dime valued at $787,976.45 did not appear from nowhere. It represents the upper extreme of what collectors are willing to pay for perfection combined with uniqueness. When a coin becomes one of one, it no longer follows price guides, it follows desire, and desire has no limit. If you own old dimes, never clean them, never polish them, and never dismiss them. Examine them under magnification, compare them with verified examples, and if something looks different, trust that instinct, because history shows that life-changing discoveries often start with curiosity. The dime may be small, but its impact is massive. It has survived wars, economic shifts, and generations of use, and today it continues to surprise the world, proving once again that value is not about size but significance. Stay connected with coins, because this channel exists to uncover hidden wealth, educate passionate collectors, and bring untold stories from the world of rare currency straight to you. Every coin has a story, and the next one might be sitting in your pocket right now. If this story opened your eyes, then you are already ahead of the crowd. And remember, in the world of coins, the quietest pieces often speak the loudest. Today we are diving deep into one of the most misunderstood and most searched modern American coins, the one-dime coin, specifically the 2012 P dime, a coin that millions of people hold in their hands every year without realizing the history, mystery, and real market truth behind it. This tiny silver-colored coin may look ordinary at first glance, but once you understand where it comes from, why it exists, and how collectors view it today, you will never look at a dime the same way again. The one-dime coin, also known as the Roosevelt dime, has been part of American daily life since 1946. It was introduced to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, a leader remembered for guiding the nation through the Great Depression and World War II. Roosevelt was also closely connected with the March of Dimes Foundation, which fought against polio, a disease he personally suffered from. That connection made the dime the perfect coin to carry his legacy, and from that moment forward, the Roosevelt dime became one of the most recognizable coins in U.S. history. Now let us move forward in time to the year 2012. In this year, the United States Mint produced millions of dimes, but today we are focusing on the 2012 P dime. The letter P means it was minted in Philadelphia, one of the oldest and most important minting facilities in the United States. Philadelphia has a long tradition of producing high-quality circulation coins, and the 2012 P dime is no exception. It carries the familiar portrait of Roosevelt on the front, strong clear lettering, and on the reverse side the torch, olive branch, and oak branch, symbols of liberty, peace, and strength. The metal composition of the 2012 P dime is copper with a nickel coating, not silver like older dimes minted before 1965. This is very important because many people assume all dimes contain silver, but that is not true for modern issues. However, even without silver, certain modern dimes still attract attention due to condition, errors, and collector demand. When we talk about current market value, honesty is extremely important. In normal circulated condition, the 2012 P dime is usually worth face value, which is 10 cents. However, In uncirculated condition, especially those graded by professional services with strong strike quality and clean surfaces, the value can increase. Some high-grade examples can sell for higher prices depending on demand at the time of sale. Online listings sometimes show prices around $0.78 or similar figures, which often creates confusion. These prices usually reflect special conditions, presentation sets, or seller expectations rather than everyday market reality. This is where many myths are born. Social media posts, short videos, and exaggerated titles often claim that a common dime is worth a fortune. While it is true that rare errors, transitional metal mistakes, or extremely high-grade examples can bring strong money, the average 2012p dime does not automatically make someone rich. That said, collectors still search through rolls and pocket change because history has shown again and again that rare discoveries do happen. Errors are one of the biggest reasons collectors pay attention to modern coins. A misaligned strike, missing letters, double dies, off-center designs, or wrong planchet errors can transform a normal dime into a valuable collectible. If a genuine error is found and authenticated, its value can jump from cents to hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on rarity and condition. This is why careful inspection matters, and why knowledgeable collectors never stop looking. The story of the dime itself is also a story of American resilience. The word dime comes from the Old French word meaning tenth, representing 1/10 of a dollar. From the earliest days of the U.S. Mint in the late 1700s to today's modern minting technology, the dime has remained a symbol of practicality and trust in everyday commerce. Even as cashless payments grow, coins like the dime continue to carry historical and cultural weight. Collectors today look at the 2012p dime as part of a much larger narrative. It represents a modern era of mass production, stable design, and consistency. While it may not yet be considered a classic rarity, it holds its place in complete collections and mint sets. Over time, as circulation coins wear out and disappear, well-preserved examples become harder to find, slowly increasing collector interest. One important lesson for every collector and viewer of this channel: coins is knowledge over hype. True value comes from understanding the coin, not just believing headlines. A coin's worth depends on condition, rarity, demand, and verified authenticity. If you ever think you have a valuable dime, compare it carefully, weigh it, inspect it under magnification, and when in doubt, consult a professional grading service. So the next time a 2012p dime passes through your hands, do not rush to spend it without a second glance. Look at the details, feel the history, and remember that every coin tells a story. Some stories are quiet, some are dramatic, but all of them connect us to the past in a powerful way. Coins are not just money, they are time capsules, and even the smallest one can spark curiosity, learning, and the excitement of discovery. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the one dime coin and want more real information, real history, and real market understanding, make sure to subscribe to Coins, because here we separate truth from myths and help you see the real value hidden in everyday change. Today you are about to discover why a small silver-colored coin that most people ignore every single day is silently becoming one of the most talked about and searched coins in the numismatic world. The one dime coin, especially the 2022p mint issue and the legendary Liberty design that has shocked collectors, investors, and everyday people who never imagined a 10-cent coin could even be connected to values whispered as high as $787,976. And 43 cents. Yes, you heard that right. And before you scroll away thinking this is impossible, stay with me, because what you are about to hear is a deep story of history, rarity, minting errors, demand, survival rate, and market psychology that explains why certain dime coins are now being hunted worldwide. The United States one dime coin is not just pocket change, it is a living piece of American history, and its journey began long before modern pockets even existed. The dime was created as a symbol of precision, value, and trust, and over the decades it carried faces and symbols that defined freedom, power, and independence, and among all of them the Liberty design stands above most, because Liberty was never just art, it was a message. Liberty represented strength, hope, and national identity, and that is why Liberty dimes are among the most collected coins ever made. Now fast forward to modern times and people assume modern coins are common and worthless, but that belief is exactly why Treasures go unnoticed. The 2022 P1 dime was minted in Philadelphia and millions were produced, but here is the truth that changes everything. Not all of them are equal. Collectors do not chase quantity, they chase perfection, rarity and mistakes, and this is where the value story explodes. Some 2022 P dimes have shown unusual strike quality, die variations and mint anomalies that instantly separate them from ordinary circulation coins, and when a coin shows unique characteristics, collectors compete. And when collectors compete, prices rise dramatically in auction environments, especially when grading agencies certify them at the highest levels. A dime graded at top condition can multiply in value beyond imagination. Most circulated dimes are worth face value, but a flawless example with rare attributes becomes a different species entirely, and this is where social media headlines begin to exaggerate numbers like $787,976.43, which often represents the highest speculative or theoretical valuation, tied to extreme rarity conditions or private sale hype. But here is what really matters: real market value depends on condition, certification, demand and timing. Some high-grade modern dimes have sold for hundreds, even thousands of dollars, and while not every 2022 P dime will make you rich, the possibility alone is enough to change how people look at their change forever. The Liberty dime legacy plays a huge psychological role in this because collectors connect modern coins to historic roots. Liberty designs from the past, such as Mercury dimes and Barber dimes, have sold for massive amounts, and that historical prestige transfers excitement into modern mint issues. When a coin reminds collectors of a golden era, they pay attention, and attention is money. And let us talk honestly about current market value, because real collectors care about truth. A normal 2022 P dime in circulation is worth 10 cents. Uncirculated examples can range from a few dollars to higher depending on condition, but certified high-grade pieces with unusual characteristics can climb significantly, and the market is always moving. Values change daily based on auctions, discoveries and collector trends, which is why smart collectors check every coin, not because every coin is rare, but because rare coins hide among common ones, and history proves this again and again. Decades ago people spent Mercury dimes without thinking. Today they regret it, and tomorrow people may regret ignoring modern coins. Now imagine holding a coin today that future collectors will fight over, and that is the mindset driving this market, and the Liberty theme fuels it, because Liberty is timeless. It speaks to collectors across generations, and the story does not end with money, it ends with awareness. The moment you start looking closely, you enter a world where history, value and curiosity combine, and suddenly a dime is no longer small, it becomes powerful. So the next time you hear about a one-dime coin, remember this story. Remember that value is not always loud, sometimes it sits quietly in your palm waiting for the right eyes. And if you want more deep hidden coin stories, real market insights and historical value breakdowns, make sure you stay connected with the Coins channel, because this world is bigger than you think, and the next coin we talk about could already be in your pocket.